A dialogue between quantum mechanics and Buddhism, Part 2 on reality. Preface. Quantum mechanics introduced three crucial conceptual revolutions. These revolutions not only overturned the fundamental assumptions of the old physical worldview, but also unexpectedly resonated with certain ideas found in Buddhism. The three central concepts are objectivity, reality, and independence. Quantum mechanics' reinterpretation of these three concepts undoubtedly poses a profound challenge to the traditional logical framework of physics, and to the scientific worldview that people have long taken for granted. It may even be described as a fundamental subversion of that worldview. In the previous episode, we discussed the concept of objectivity. In this episode, we continue with the second important concept, reality. 1. Modern physics, questioning reality. What is meant by reality? Reality is one of the primary goals in which physics places its faith and which it seeks to discover. In the Chinese term shizai, here translated as reality, shi means something genuine and not false, something unaffected by external circumstances or conditions, and something concrete rather than abstract. Zai means existence. Reality, therefore, refers to an objectively and continuously existing entity. In physics, the emphasis is placed more specifically on reality as a concrete, objective existence. The external material world is regarded as real. Scientists have traditionally believed that the actual existence of natural phenomena is among the most important objects of investigation. All scientific research is grounded in this belief and derives its meaning from it. Matter is thought to be composed of atoms with definite internal structures. It possesses specifically describable properties such as mass, velocity, and position, and it genuinely constitutes the multifaceted world in which we live. With the revolutionary development of modern physics, however, this conception of material reality began to face an unprecedented challenge. 2. The questioning of material reality. From the standpoint of its internal composition, all matter consists of countless molecules. Molecules consist of atoms. Atoms contain electrons and a nucleus. The nucleus contains protons, neutrons, mesons, and other microscopic particles, and these particles are themselves composed of quarks and leptons. The radius of an atom is approximately 10 to the power of -10 meters, while the size of an atomic nucleus is approximately 10 to the power of -15 meters. The nucleus is therefore extraordinarily small. Its volume is only about 1/4 of the volume of the atom. As an analogy given in the quantum and the lotus suggests, the space occupied by the nucleus within an atom is comparable to a single grain of rice placed in the middle of a football stadium. Thus, if we consider only its internal structure, most of an atom is empty space. Consequently, nearly all the objects we experience, chairs, tables, books, and so forth, are also almost entirely empty. But if all material objects are nearly empty, why can a wall genuinely separate one space from another and prevent us from passing through it? The physical explanation is simply that atoms are bound together through electromagnetic forces. Moreover, despite repeated experimental observation, electrons and the microscopic particles within atomic nuclei cannot be found to possess definite, concrete forms. We can infer the existence of these particles only through properties such as mass, spin, and electric charge. Erwin Schrödinger therefore once warned that it is better not to regard a particle as a permanent entity, but rather as a temporary event. Sometimes these events become connected and create the illusion of a permanent entity. Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg likewise stated that when we speak of atoms and electrons, we should not regard them as genuinely existing entities. The concept of the atom is merely an image. An image that helps physicists combine different observations of the particle world into a coherent and logically consistent framework. The Copenhagen interpretation therefore implies that atoms constitute a world of possibilities and probabilities, rather than a world of definite things or established facts. Furthermore, properties such as electric charge and spin are themselves phenomena observed only within particular experimental arrangements. As Bohr said, an isolated material particle is merely an abstraction. Its properties can be defined and observed only through its interactions with other systems. It is therefore questionable whether such properties can provide sufficient evidence or explanation for the existence of a particle. As Michel Bitbol has observed, in the ordinary vocabulary of quantum mechanics, the possibility of individuating an object at the atomic level is limited to a particular, fully defined set of experimental conditions. Once those conditions are no longer fulfilled, the possibility of such individuation disappears completely. In addition, as discussed previously, the conclusions produced by physical experiments are not entirely objective. Experimental results may take on different appearances according to disturbances associated with consciousness or observation. What is obtained through experimental observation can therefore no longer be identified with reality itself. In other words, quantum uncertainty makes the existence of microscopic particles appear no longer fully real. According to ordinary reasoning, if the fundamental constituents of an object do not possess genuine existence, then the object composed of them should likewise be unreal. Why, then, do objects in our everyday lives such as books not suddenly disappear? The reason is that macroscopic objects contain enormous numbers of atoms. A book contains approximately 10 to the power of 25 atoms, while the Earth contains approximately 10 to the power of 50 atoms. At such scales, the various quantum probabilities effectively cancel one another out, and quantum uncertainty becomes negligible. In addition, special relativity established the equivalence of mass and energy. Mass and energy are mutually convertible, non-permanent characteristics. An object possessing material mass can, under certain conditions, be transformed into formless energy. Matter may therefore be understood as a temporary form of energy. According to field theory, the entire universe is filled with elusive fields. All the visible objects and invisible particles we encounter are merely excited states of those fields. The existence of matter is therefore only a temporary form, rather than a permanent and ultimate reality. Particle physics also tells us that microscopic particles constantly absorb and release virtual particles. Their states are continually changing. A particle may enter a higher energy state by absorbing a virtual particle, return to a lower energy state by releasing one, or even transform into a different kind of particle. The entire situation appears to be one of ceaseless change. Virtual particles themselves are constantly being produced and then disappearing. They continually arise and cease. The same is true of macroscopic objects. They undergo formation, continuation, deterioration, and dissolution, birth, abiding, change, and extinction. When viewed across sufficiently large scales of time and space, the macroscopic world is also in constant flux. Ceaseless change is therefore an authentic characteristic of objects, and it is also a crucial reason why they cannot be regarded as ultimately real. When this insight is combined with field theory, the entire universe appears as a vast image of fluctuating energy. Gary Zukav called it a continuous cosmic dance of energy. Under such a description, genuinely substantial objects may no longer exist at all. 2. Buddhism, the emptiness of phenomena and the middle way. The emptiness of phenomena. The denial of the substantial existence of matter forms one aspect of another central Buddhist teaching. The emptiness of phenomena, specifically, the emptiness of material form. According to Buddhism, all phenomena are empty, and material phenomena are likewise empty. Emptiness is the essential nature of all things. However, emptiness does not mean that absolutely nothing exists in the universe. Rather, it emphasizes that all material things possess an insubstantial character. They are called empty because their manner of existence is not ultimately real. This is not the emptiness of sheer nothingness. Buddhism thus uses the insubstantiality of matter to deny that it possesses an independent, objective existence. Buddhist teachings approach emptiness from a variety of perspectives. Two of the principal methods of argument are analytical emptiness and intrinsic emptiness. 1. Analytical emptiness. Analytical emptiness refers to the method used in early Buddhist traditions to demonstrate the insubstantiality of things by analyzing them into their constituent parts. From the standpoint of structure, every object can be broken down into smaller units. A table can be dismantled into boards, the boards can be analyzed into fibers, the fibers can be analyzed into still smaller particles of dust, and so forth. In theory, this process of division may continue until one reaches the smallest indivisible unit, traditionally called the extremely minute particle. Because an object is composed of parts, and because those parts can themselves be further divided, the object cannot possess an independent and indivisible self-nature. Its existence depends upon the aggregation of minute particles. In other words, although the smallest particles were regarded as real and indivisible material units, all concrete objects' coarse material forms were understood as composites created by the aggregation of these particles. A composite can be separated into its parts and therefore has no independent self-nature. A composite also arises, changes, and ceases, and is therefore impermanent. Anything composed through the aggregation of minute particles is merely conventionally designated, impermanent, and without a self. Emptiness does not mean non-existence. It means the absence of a permanent, unified, autonomous self or intrinsic essence. An object is therefore said to possess provisional existence. It exists conceptually and conventionally, but not through an independent essence of its own. Material existence is consequently not ultimately real. This is what is meant by selflessness and emptiness. Another method of analytical emptiness begins with the qualities of matter. When an object is analyzed, its solidity is assigned to the earth element, its moisture to the water element, its warmth to the fire element, and its movement to the wind element. When the four great elements are separated, no independent material substance can be found. Every material object can be analyzed into these four elements, with nothing remaining beyond them. The human body may likewise be analyzed into the four internal elements. Hair, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, marrow, and brain belong to the earth element. Pus, blood, nasal mucus, saliva, bodily fluids, phlegm, tears, urine, and feces belong to the water element. The warmth within the body belongs to the fire element. Breathing and bodily movement belong to the wind element. Once the four elements separate, no independently existing human body remains. The body is therefore said to be insubstantial. 2. Intrinsic emptiness. Intrinsic emptiness means that a thing is empty in its immediate nature. It is a Mahayana method of contemplating emptiness. Unlike analytical emptiness, which begins by dismantling an object into its constituent parts, intrinsic emptiness argues from dependent arising and impermanence. A thing is empty in its very present nature. All phenomena are already empty in their immediate mode of appearance and in their present intrinsic condition. They do not become empty only after they have been analyzed, destroyed, or eliminated. This stands in sharp contrast to the earlier method of analyzing form and returning it to emptiness, in which one gradually analyzes an object down to the smallest particles before establishing its emptiness. Intrinsic emptiness is a more direct and more ultimate contemplation of emptiness. It may be summarized in one sentence. There is no need to dismantle a thing. The thing itself is an empty, illusory appearance. Because all phenomena arise through causes and conditions, possess no intrinsic nature, and are therefore empty in their immediate being. As the Diamond Sutra states, all conditioned phenomena are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows. Like dew and also like lightning. Thus should they be contemplated. The Mahaprajnaparamita Sutra similarly uses such analogies as an illusion, a mirage, the moon reflected in water, empty space, an echo, a city of the Gandharvas. A dream, a shadow, an image in a mirror, and a magical transformation to illustrate emptiness. Nagarjuna likewise states in the Mulamadhyamakarika, whatever arises through causes and conditions, I declare to be emptiness. All phenomena arise through causes and conditions. When the conditions cease, the phenomena also cease. Because they are impermanent, changing, and not ultimately established, they are described as empty on account of their insubstantial nature. According to the doctrinal classification of the Tiantai school, analytical emptiness is the contemplation associated with the Tripitaka teaching. Contemplating the 6 elements of earth, water, fire, wind, space, and consciousness, one finds neither self nor anything belonging to a self. Intrinsic emptiness is associated with the shared teaching. The aggregates, elements, and sense fields are all like illusions and transformations. In their immediate nature, they cannot be apprehended. Beings of less acute capacities within the conditioned realm may realize emptiness through the Tripitaka teaching, while those of sharper capacities may realize it through the shared teaching. The destination is similar, although the paths differ. In summary, the principle of emptiness is primarily explained from 2 perspectives: the analysis of matter into minute particles and the absence of self, and the arising of phenomena through causes and conditions. Analytical emptiness, which analyzes matter layer by layer until no independent thing can ultimately be found, emphasizes the perspective of selflessness. Intrinsic emptiness, by contrast, directly contemplates that whatever arises through causes and conditions is empty. 2. The Middle Way. Buddhism places such strong emphasis on emptiness because sentient beings do not understand the principle of emptiness. They mistakenly regard the objects of the world as truly and independently existent, and consequently develop attachment, craving, aversion, and hatred. These attachments are the root of all affliction and suffering. Understanding emptiness marks the beginning of liberation from the bonds of affliction. As the Heart Sutra states, because of reliance upon the perfection of wisdom, the mind is without obstruction. Because there is no obstruction, there is no fear. One departs completely from inverted and deluded thinking and ultimately realizes nirvana. The perfection of wisdom refers to the wisdom that accurately recognizes phenomena through the principle of emptiness. Through this wisdom, one can remain unobstructed by the ceaseless movement and transformation of all worldly phenomena. One no longer responds to them with fear and is no longer controlled by them, thereby attaining liberation. The teaching of emptiness is therefore a form of remedy. It is intended to cure our attachment to existence. Because it is a remedy, however, it must not itself become an object of one-sided attachment. Otherwise, it becomes another form of bondage. For this reason, the Heart Sutra teaches not only that form is emptiness, but also that emptiness is form. Nagarjuna, after declaring, whatever arises through causes and conditions, I declare to be emptiness, continues. It is also a provisional designation. And it is also the meaning of the middle way. In other words, from the perspectives of selflessness and dependent arising, all things are insubstantial and are therefore called empty. Yet because phenomena arise through causes and conditions, they may still be provisionally described as existing. Things temporarily appear through the convergence of causes and conditions. Emptiness refers to their ultimate nature, while existence refers to their conventional appearance. They are both empty and existent, yet neither simply empty nor simply existent. The middle way avoids attachment to either side. It does not fall into the extreme of emptiness by declaring everything to be nihilistically non-existent. Nor does it fall into the extreme of existence by clinging to things as substantially real. Conventional existence contains emptiness, and emptiness contains conventional existence. According to the Buddha, only by viewing things without leaning toward existence or non-existence, permanence or impermanence, can one see them as they truly are. The Maratnaka Sutra states, "Permanence is one extreme, and impermanence is another extreme. That which is neither confined to permanence nor impermanence is the middle. It is without form or shape, without conceptual illumination or conceptual knowing. This is called the middle way, the true contemplation of all phenomena. The self is one extreme, and no self is another extreme. That which is neither confined to self nor no self is the middle. It is without form or shape, without conceptual illumination or conceptual knowing. This is called the middle way, the true contemplation of all phenomena." Not leaning toward one side does not mean adopting a compromise. The middle of the middle way is not a midpoint located at an equal distance between two extremes. When it is said that permanence and impermanence are the middle, or that self and no self are the middle, this means neither clinging exclusively to permanence nor exclusively to impermanence, neither exclusively to self nor exclusively to no self, while also not discarding either side. In other words, the Buddhist middle way simultaneously departs from both extremes and includes both extremes. It neither identifies itself with nor separates itself from either side. It is an authentic understanding of the existence of phenomena. The contemplation of the middle way is the attitude of examining all things according to this principle. Nagarjuna composed the Mula-Madhyamaka to explain the middle way, and the work later became foundational to the Madhyamaka school. In his preface to the text, Sengzao's disciple Sengrui wrote, "The treatise on the middle contains 500 verses and was composed by Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. It is called middle because it illuminates reality as it truly is. Only by observing the world from the perspective of the middle can one illuminate reality as it truly is. To perceive only existence is to become attached to the supposed real existence of things. To perceive only emptiness is to fall into passive nihilism. Yet to speak of something entirely separate from both existence and emptiness is also not ultimate. All such views are unreal constructions and, in relation to truth, are called conceptual proliferations." The Mula-Madhyamaka therefore explains, "At all times, in all forms, all phenomena arise through a multitude of conditions. Because they are ultimately empty, they possess no intrinsic nature. Within phenomena understood in this way, what could be called finite, and who could be said to hold the view of finitude? What could be called infinite? What could be both finite and infinite, or neither finite nor infinite? Who could hold such views? What could be called permanent, and who could possess permanence? What could be called impermanent? What could be both permanent and impermanent, or neither permanent nor impermanent? Who could hold the view of neither permanence nor impermanence? In what sense could the body be identical with the spirit, and in what sense could the body be different from the spirit? The 62 erroneous views of this kind cannot be found within ultimate emptiness. All grasping at attainment comes to rest, and all conceptual proliferation is extinguished. Because conceptual proliferation is extinguished, one penetrates the true character of all phenomena and attains the path of peace." Beginning with the chapter on causes and conditions, phenomena are examined and investigated individually. Existence cannot be found, non-existence cannot be found, both existence and non-existence cannot be found, and neither existence nor non-existence can be found. This is called the true character of all phenomena. It is also called suchness, the ultimate limit of reality, and nirva. Therefore, the Tathagata never, at any time or place, teaches people that nirva possesses a fixed and determinate form. Thus it is said that all grasping at attainment comes to rest and all conceptual proliferation is extinguished. The middle way is therefore the true contemplation of the causes and conditions of all phenomena. Things arise through causes and conditions and are therefore empty. Yet because they arise through causes and conditions, they also appear as existing things. To perceive only one side is to become partial and to fall into conceptual proliferation. When emptiness and non-emptiness are seen together, one can maintain a detached yet responsive attitude toward all worldly phenomena in accordance with dependent arising. Knowing emptiness, one is not troubled. Knowing conventional existence, one can make skillful use of all phenomena. By not clinging to emptiness, one avoids falling into passivity and nihilism. By not clinging to non-emptiness, one transcends bondage. Only by maintaining the middle way can one remain unobstructed amid the impermanent arising and ceasing of worldly phenomena and make constructive use of them. 3. The dialogue. In physics, when matter is analyzed down to the level of microscopic particles, the substantiality of those particles becomes deeply questionable. Once the concept of elementary particles as independently existing entities is overturned, the reality of the material objects composed of those particles can no longer be securely established. At the same time, the convertibility of mass and energy, together with the continual arising and disappearance of particles, reveals the impermanent and changing nature of things. The decisive influence of consciousness and experimental arrangements upon observable phenomena, along with the many phenomena produced through interactions among objects, highlights the importance of dependent conditions in determining the existence of things. Everything perceptible in the universe exists only temporarily and relatively in its particular form. Because the impermanence and dependent arising of things have been revealed, their intrinsic insubstantiality also becomes apparent. This line of thought resembles the Buddhist argument for intrinsic emptiness. Modern physics has therefore uncovered, within the deepest structures of matter, a new worldview. A worldview without concrete and substantial reality, in which phenomena continually arise, change, and disappear. This worldview contains elements resembling both analytical emptiness and intrinsic emptiness, and can therefore be brought into dialogue with the Buddhist concept of the emptiness of material form, within the teaching that all phenomena bear the mark of emptiness. From a certain perspective, the Buddhist principle of emptiness appears to have received a form of confirmation through modern physics and to have become part of the new physical worldview. Nevertheless, physicists have not thereby rejected the existence of matter altogether. At a certain level, scientists would probably be unwilling to deny the fact of material existence completely. From the standpoint of the Buddhist middle way, there is likewise no need to deny matter. The appropriate attitude is one of neither identification nor separation. Acknowledging and making use of material existence while remaining fully aware of its illusory, impermanent, and insubstantial nature. Modern physics has not derived from its discovery of emptiness a complete doctrine comparable to the Buddhist middle way, which avoids attachment to either emptiness or existence. Yet a similar new form appears in the way modern physics describes the existence of matter and phenomena. Quantum theory uses probability to express a neutral mode of behavior in which a particle may be said both to exist and not to exist. As Fritjof Capra observed, a particle, understood as a probability pattern, possesses tendencies to exist in different locations and therefore represents a distinctive kind of physical reality situated between existence and non-existence. Strictly speaking, describing it as between existence and non-existence may sound like a compromise. The actual situation, however, is not a compromise. A particle does not exist as an independently substantial entity. It possesses only a temporary and relative existence. The probabilistic model therefore no longer describes events in the absolute manner of classical physics. Instead, it states how likely various possible events are to occur. Different combinations of causes and conditions produce different results, yet no one can precisely determine every transformation of those conditions. The uncertainty contained in probability reveals the impermanence of phenomena as they arise in response to conditions. At the same time, the existence of a probability value indicates the possibility that a phenomenon may become provisionally established when the appropriate conditions are present. The impermanence of dependent arising is emptiness, while the possibility that a phenomenon may be provisionally established is existence. Both ideas are revealed simultaneously through the probabilistic model. Heisenberg therefore said that the probability wave introduced something standing in the middle between the idea of an event and the actual event, a strange kind of physical reality just midway between possibility and reality. This concept of a strange kind of physical reality closely resembles the Buddhist middle way, which includes both emptiness and existence. The Buddhist formulation: form is empty yet conventionally existent, neither simply empty nor simply existent, finds a certain practical representation in the probabilistic mode of material existence. It may therefore be said that when modern physics discovered that matter possesses no concrete substantial reality, it did not directly speak of emptiness or the middle way in Buddhist terms. Instead, it expressed the denial of substantial entities structurally through fields and energy, and conceptually through a probabilistic model that transcends the ordinary opposition between existence and non-existence. Even at the level of practical scientific operation, this attitude resembles the statement made by Yin Yuje when interpreting modern physics through Madhyamaka philosophy. Recognizing the limitations of observation is not intended to deny or abandon observation. Rather, it enables us to observe again on the basis of understanding the true nature of observation. The essential basis of observation recognized by Yin Yuje is precisely the limitation of observation. Observation interferes with the existence and condition of matter. It is not entirely objective, and its results do not represent an independently existing reality. Only after understanding this truth can we make practical use of observation without being misled by it. The same principle may perhaps be applied to our understanding of material existence. Recognizing the insubstantiality of material existence is not intended to deny or abandon matter. Rather, it enables us to use and develop matter on the basis of understanding the true nature of its existence. By knowing emptiness, we can escape the bondage created by attachment to existence. By not becoming attached to emptiness, we can proceed from this foundation to make fuller and more constructive use of conventional existence. This positive attitude, neither leaning toward emptiness nor abandoning existence, is the meaning of the middle way that may be further drawn out from the probabilistic wave model. The Buddhist concepts of the emptiness of material form and the middle way have thus been unintentionally revealed at the operational level of modern physics. Their original meanings within Buddhism can provide modern physics with a more complete interpretation and a constructive source of inspiration as physics confronts its own revolutionary discoveries. Beyond supplying evidence, this dialogue also supplies meaning. Herein lies the true value of the dialogue between quantum mechanics and Buddhism.